Hello everyone and welcome to Carlin's Creations in the US. I hope you're doing well out there today. I'm Laura. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much and welcome back. We're going to be putting together this Christmas journal. If you're interested in following along with that today, I would love to have you join me. So I made this shell last year, and then I got busy with the holiday season, and I ended up putting it away, and I thought this is a great time to come back to it right here with the Christmas holiday coming up. The inside, I used a Christmas card someone sent last year, and I had these poinsettias. I painted them. I used one on the front too. The closure is an extra rivet button that I got with some clothing or something, and so I just made a hole and put this down in there with some E6000. I like to use these for closures. I think that's neat. And then I had a gift bag that I cut these gnomes out of and put one on the back too. I have all of these papers that I've gotten ready to have in the signature, and I got overzealous. I've got way too many, so I'm going to need to pick out which ones I'm going to put in there. And then I have two more journals I've made the covers for that I'm going to use the rest of this in. I have this one made out of cardboard, the same cardboard that I'm using to make the fairies and unicorns, and then I've started my ephemera package here. And I also have this one, also made from cardboard. Then here's my ephemera pack I've started for this one. These are from Handmade paper that I got in a big kit of Christmas, a big Christmas kit at a thrift store. I've added some of the corner pockets on them where, you know, if you've seen any of my videos, that's one of my favorite type of pockets to make, is the corner pocket. And I've made some belly bands. I've used some scrapbook paper and some double-sided tape. It's that sticky tape that raises things up a little bit. I've used that on these. I have some just plain scrapbook paper. And I've decorated the insides when the paper was white on the back. And I've made some just writing spots. Some of these I've sewn around. and some tea-dyed paper. I put together my 3 signatures, and I've decided to save these handmade papers and make individual journals out of those. So what I have here are 3, basically, they're not identical, but they have the same elements in them. And then this one will be my front, this is my middle, and this is the back. So I need to poke my holes in my spine, putting my little cutting board underneath so that it protects my table. I'm going to put all 3 of them on the scrapbook paper. This is the way I'm going to do that. I'm going to use these little eyelets to make my visual of where I want the signatures to be. Now I'm going to put all of these eyelets through, and I like how that looks, so I've started doing that on a lot of my journals. Gives it a more finished look on the spine. I've got all the eyelets applied there and in here. So I need to line these up how I want them. Be sure I have that all set before I poke the holes in the papers. I'm going to put a mark on the paper where I want to poke the holes in it. I'm using black binding thread. I'm going to start with the middle. I'm going to go back through the middle. And I'm going to tie it off tight. I like using the eyelets because it keeps the cardboard from tearing. One down, 2 to go. And I'm just going to follow that same process and do the other 2. All the signatures are in, all 3 of them. There is room to expand and embellish, but it's not over full, so that's great. I'm really happy about that. I think I've said before in other videos, when I first started doing journals, I would be so excited to put the pages in, and I would end up with the journal like this, barely closing. So have to restrain myself with that. I'm going to use this ribbon for the closure. I had something else. I had this, which also came in that pack of paper, that the handmade paper. I have different colors of these, but I've decided for this journal I'm not liking that, so I'm going to use this instead. I've put a photo inside the card and then added this ribbon to it to close it. So you could put anything inside a card. You could put a message that says this journal belongs to, or a message to the person you're giving it to. Have you put up your Christmas tree yet, if you celebrate Christmas or if it's Christmas at your home? I have not. I did put my wreaths on my doors, and a lot of the people here have their trees up and all their lights put up. It looks so pretty. I love Christmas lights. And the last thing I'm going to do is put on tassels and little charms. I had this that came off of a necklace. I'm going to remove these two charms. One is a cross. I think this is called an Andean cross. And, well, they both are. And then I have a star and a little jingle bell. So I'm going to add those. And I just always add my charms on the end. Like that. So I had mentioned in one of my videos, I took a trip by myself for a few days, and while I was there, I lost my favorite pink scissors. I cannot find them anywhere. Those pink ones I got at the Dollar Tree, and they're the perfect size for little stuff like this. I hope they still have them. I broke down and bought myself some jewelry pliers too. I was having the worst time trying to fiddle around with the charms and everything. Got a whole little kit for, I don't know, it was maybe like $10 or $12, and all this time I've been fighting those big pliers, and I thought, my goodness. I feel like I'm not by myself totally in that. There's probably somebody else out there who's like, yeah, same. I try to use what I have and probably cost myself way more in time and frustration than is definitely worth. I kept a little bit of the chain with this one. It's so small, so that kind of helps it show up a little more. And a jingle bell. I think that came off my cat's collar, one that she doesn't wear anymore. Anyway, there we go. So I think I'm going to leave it there, and I appreciate you watching. If you're still with me here to the end, thank you so much. I've enjoyed this time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.